All right, this is Jesse Santiago with FMA Pulse. I'm here with featured instructor of the month, Tuhon Dionaldo of Filipino Combat Systems. So Tuhon Ray, welcome on board.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. So let's say I'm a new student. A lot of people are asking, like, what are some FMA empty hand techniques that you usually cover in FCS?
Okay, techniques or flow or
Techniques or flow, whatever, however you teach your students.
Okay, I start off with the basic Sumbrada. That way we can lay a foundation for movement, and then we plug the techniques into it as we go.
Okay.
All right. So let me give you a basic Sumbrada. Okay, just like any other Sumbrada or like any other 6-count Sumbrada. Okay, we're going to go, the 4 basic corners, and the transition will be our 2 other counts. So let's say, give me a body shot here. Okay. Angle 1, good. Okay, and then we feed back a little bit, and then give me a hook. That'll be angle 2, good. And our transition is here. Then I'll feed you the hook. That'll be angle 3. Parry that. Okay. Then parry to this hand, and feed me back fist. And then I'll feed you an angle 4, which is my body shot. And then feed me the back fist again. Okay. Clear. Good. And I'll feed you back to the hook. We're just going to follow the path backwards. Okay. To 3. Good. And then tap in. And then you throw your hook back to angle 2. I'll feed back, and then give me angle 1. There you go. So there's your angle 1. Here's your angle 2 coming up to a hook. Okay. Angle 3, I can either throw a jab or a hook. Okay. And then parry back, good. And then parry one more time. Okay. And then angle 4. Okay. And then follow that through. Okay. Yeah. So that's our basic Sumbrada that we use for open hand.
Okay. And then how does that work with transitions? Like, transitions? Okay.
So within the transitions, I do what I call modules. Most of the time they're in groups of 3, and they specialize in one particular skill sets. So a basic one would be the arm wrenches or the arm breaks. Okay. So let's say, and also the entry will be very characteristic of whatever art I want to plug in. Okay, like there's a correlation, a relationship between northern Silat and southern Panantukan. So I use a basic, posture, that both of them will use. So let's say give me an angle 1.
Yeah.
Right? Now when you give me an angle 2, I use this as an entry. Right? So this is where our cycle starts. So from here, okay, I'm checking the arm and I'm checking the shoulder, and I'm creating what we call a natural guard, okay, to protect the head. So this is where our cycle starts. So from here, okay, and this is where it starts to look familiar, okay, from Panantukan. You see this sometimes, okay, but this is a very common position in clinch work in Western boxing. You go to the body when you clinch. So from our entry, okay, this is our number 1 position, 1, okay, and here's a break. Number 2, I pull back and I throw the elbow, okay, hit to the iliac. Here's our second break. Then I'll go with an elbow to the chin, and then as soon as he checks it, okay, there's a number 3. And then using this, go to back to this position here, this posture, we use it to transition to the left side. So 1, 2, elbow, to the iliac, to bend the body. Here's a break. 3, to force the check, and back into this position, back to our number 1 position.
Nice. So you're always constantly in that inside line.
Yeah, and it specifically targets that transition within the clinch work.
Great. So next week we'll be continuing on with our instructor of the month with Tuhon Dionaldo. We'll be covering knife. So stay tuned. We'll see you next week. I'm Jesse Santiago with FMA Pulse. I'm here with Tuhon Ray from Filipino Combat Systems. See you next week.